Hi guys, then it happened. I've managed to hurt myself. I fell in the sewer here just a couple of minutes ago, and I fucked up both my feet, so now I'm going to the hospital.
In this episode I managed not to get my camera taken by a really angry border patrolman at the Ukrainian border. I head to Ukraine where the roads get worse and the driving also deteriorates quite a bit. So one of the first stops I made, it was to Lviv, which is a great looking city. I stayed at the hostel called Cat's House Hostel, and if any of you guys are going to go there at some point, I think you should stay here. It's really cheap, nice, clean, quiet, and the personnel is extraordinarily nice, and they speak English. Here I met three Russian girls who gave me some advice on how to get to Moscow, hooked me up with some friends, and made me a great Ukrainian breakfast. Between Lviv and Kiev there's some long stretches with perfect asphalt, and it's really inviting just to go full throttle, but I've heard some pretty interesting stories about the police, so I try to keep to the limit.
I just got stopped by the police now for the first time here in the Ukraine. Two young guys. I'm glad because their authority didn't really scare me as much as the guy on the border did yesterday. Anyways, they wanted 30 euros, 20 euros, 10 euros, but in the end I got out of there. I'm so proud of myself. No bribes first time.
Another thing that I was pretty surprised with is how much people wanted to talk here. People would stop me on the street or stop me when I was out getting gas. And another thing, the Lenin statue started to pop up to show that this was an old Russian country that I was getting into. I slept in the woods just after the border, headed back to the highway, and then I went full throttle towards Moscow.
Now we've come to Moscow. I got in a little late, but managed actually to find a very decent hostel, and I think I've been quite lucky. I heard a saxophone playing here on the roof, and when I came up here, it's apparently a music video that's being shot. So here we are, after jumping in a couple of hoops, getting tickets and through security, I am at the Kremlin in the center of Moscow.
So my take on the Kremlin is that it's a nice, beautiful place, but I could have done without paying the 350 rubles to get in there. They do, however, have the same thing as the Americans. They like big stuff.
Okay, I just came out from the Lenin Museum here on the Red Square, and it was actually kind of interesting to see him lying there sleeping. Strange to see how the Russians, they still seem to adore him, even though it's kind of an open fact that he was not such a good man after all. But interesting to see him, very stoic and hard little person. Didn't look particularly big, but very hard. Okay, I managed to get myself a Russian phone now, so check out on the website to find my number, and you can actually text message me directly with the hints and suggestions.
I wasn't quite sure why so many people mentioned the metro when I asked what to see in Moscow, but it seems like the metro system in Moscow is kind of the heart of the entire city.
Okay, I'm now in the subway. I don't know where I'm going, so I'll just jump on the next train and see where it takes me.
The metro in Moscow is actually surprisingly well working. I rode it for a couple of hours and managed to get myself lost at all the beautiful stations.
and the fact that I haven't found out in which direction the trains are driving probably doesn't help me figuring out where I am.
And here are some Russian for beginners. Can you see what it says? Yes, it is Starbucks. And this one, Americans, you gotta get this one. It's a Wendy's.
It's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and I don't have a place to stay tonight. In a second I'm gonna meet up with Dima, which is someone I knew's friend, and he just texted me whether we should ride around for a minute, so I'm really looking forward to meeting Dima and see if I can find a place to sleep tonight somewhere here in Moscow. Okay, so I'll have a beer with them tonight and then hopefully get a place to sleep, and then tomorrow I'll head off to Sustal and onwards east. So I ended sleeping at a guy called Phil's place, which I got hooked up at, and I got to sleep here in a real Russian apartment. I just want to say the mess is mine, not theirs. So this is where I'll leave you here for this episode. I'll cut it a little bit short in the interest of getting stuff up so you can actually watch something instead of waiting for me to edit it. Next episode I'll go east, and you'll also see what happened at the hospital later on. I'll meet up with Khan and a bunch of other stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to watch the next episode at AndersAroundTheWorld.com and to leave your comments and suggestions, questions on the Facebook page.